Let's see if we can finish this polar bear. Yes, I know my lips are orange. It's because I've been drinking carrot juice. Hello, my talented artists. Don't forget to subscribe. If you got a little bit of blue or purple on the inside of your polar bear, it's okay. I did too. I got a little bit of blue in there. I think polar bears would look like they had a little blue or purple shadows in their fur anyway, so I think it looks great. We have our beautifully painted backgrounds for our polar bear painting. And now we are going to add the details inside the polar bear's face. I want you to do it in pencil, and then you can go over it with a Sharpie. But I'm just going to work in a Sharpie so you can see it. Before we begin on the actual painting, we're going to turn over our paper again, and we are going to practice drawing a triangle with rounded corners again. So you could just draw a triangle, and then you can round those corners. You don't need to erase it on the back. In fact, I wouldn't, because erasing can rip paper. Everyone draw a triangle and then round those corners. Pause the video for students to complete one triangle. Now try to draw a triangle with a rounded corner without first drawing the pointy corner. Pause the video for students to try this. And you can experiment with how much roundedness you do. I want you to draw 3 or 4 triangles with rounded corners, and they should all be different in some way. They can be long and thin. They can be really wide. Pause the video for students to draw triangles with rounded corners on the backs of their papers. Now we are ready to work on our polar bear's face. The rounded triangle is going to be the polar bear's nose. What we're going to do is we're actually going to draw the whole nose. We know animals' muzzles, a lot of mammals, they stick out from their face. So we're going to draw the polar bear nose a little bit down on the face. And at the triangle, the point should be sort of pointing downward. So we're going to have one side on the top, like that. And if it's not quite straight, you can always straighten it out. Ooh, I'm really straightening. I'm really making adjustments. And now I'm going to do the rounded corner. You can make your polar bear nose small, large, wide, long. It is up to you. They all look good. And I'm going to leave a little white highlight on the nose. So I'm just going to draw a shape. I'll just draw a rectangle, but it can be any shape. And I'm going to leave that white. I'm going to color in the whole nose. And remember to stay inside your lines. Be careful as you're drawing. Really make sure you're looking at what you're doing. Please do this in pencil, but don't color it in with the pencil. Just draw the shape of the nose and the shape of the highlight. Pause the video for students to draw the shape of the nose and the shape of the highlight. And from the bottom of the nose, I'm going to draw a straight line. You can experiment with how long you draw your line. I just made a short line. Now we're going to do that curved. It almost looks like part of a curved rectangle, and we're going to go up higher than the nose to make it look like the muzzle. So I'm going to go down, curve, and come up next to the nose, and I'm going to curve in a little bit. Pause the video for students to draw 1/2 of the polar bear's muzzle. Like that. I know it looks a little strange now, but it will really look cute in the end. Or you might not think so. But try it my way and see if you like it. I'm going to do the other side. Thinking about curving the corners and going up. Oop, not symmetrical, but you know what? Not everyone's symmetrical. I like it. Oh, he's so cute.
Thank you.
We are going to draw 2 very small eyes, and I want you to try to leave a highlight in the middle of each eye. So next to his nose right here, not on top, but next to, I want you to draw an oval. We're going to draw little ovals. I'm going to do one on each side. I'm going to actually turn my paper. It's a little bit easier for me. And I'm leaving a little highlight. I see this one is a little smaller. If you play with it so much that you lose your highlight, that's happened to me before many times. Don't worry. Pause the video for students to finish their muzzle and draw the eyes. Another detail that you can add, but you do not need to add, is a little lower lip. So we're going to start in the middle of this bottom line and go to the middle of this bottom line. Like that. There we have our little cute face. Remember that if you make a line a little thicker or you make a little mistake, you can just adjust it or leave it by making. I like to just sort of even things out, and I can make the lines a little more bold by thickening them up. Don't get too frustrated if it doesn't turn out the way you like, because you are looking and saying, what do I want this polar bear to look like? And what would I do differently next time? Even if you don't have paint at home, you could still make a polar bear artwork. You could always color the background with something other than paint. Just remember that it takes several drafts to get whatever you're working on up to the place where you want it to be. It could be writing, it could be making a soccer goal, it could be learning a new piece of music. Always remember, if you keep trying, you will improve. And now we're going to paint. But before we paint, let's pause the video and make sure that everyone has drawn in their face with pencil and then again over their lines with Sharpie. Pause the video for all students to complete this part. Now it is time to paint, and you can choose from whatever warm colors I have out. I'm at home. Sometimes when you're at home, you have to make do. I don't have one of those little bowls at home, but I have a little empty laundry detergent thing, and this is good for holding water. What we are going to paint are little ear circles and little cheek circles. I don't want my little circles for the ears and the cheeks to be that dark. So I'm actually going to bring over some paint, but I'm not going to do all that rubbing that I did before. Remember that rubbing watercolors makes them darker, and just a little bit of rubbing makes a lighter color. I will also dip my paintbrush into the water and then press it against the side to make sure I don't have that much paint on my brush. I am going to make sure that I don't have that much paint on my brush, that it's light. I'm going to dip my brush into the water, press it against the side, and paint a circle in the ear. If it is not dark enough, ooh, that's nice light pink. That one, not so much. So if it's not dark enough, you could get a little dot and go in. And it's nice to see what happens when you're painting wet on wet. I want those to be even, so I'm going to go back to that one. If you want, you can also do little circle cheeks. I would make them a little bit lower than the nose. I'll do one and then I'll do the other. So I want the wet paint to go on the wet water. So I'm doing one at a time. And I want them to kind of line up, little circle. That's pretty cute. Pause the video for students to paint cheeks and ears. You can be done, or if you have time, make a scarf on the bear. And the way to make a scarf is to draw a line going across and then a parallel line that's about as thick as you want your scarf to be. And then just a little bit higher, because the scarf bumps up, you're going to do a rectangle coming down. Usually you see the two ends of a scarf, so you can have another rectangle hanging down little diagonally. And then what you want to do is erase the lines that are horizontal so that it looks like this part of the scarf is on top. Go over your lines with a Sharpie. But don't outline your polar bear, because the blue outlines the polar bear really nicely. Black outlines can be nice, and no black outlines can be nice. And now you can add color and pattern to your scarf using markers, colored pencils, crayons, or whatever supplies you have. I can't wait to see what you do.